Hey, everybody. Welcome to Tuesday Fish Talk Live. Let's go ahead and share this out. If you can share this into your favorite groups, that'd be awesome. Let's see if we can get 100 people on tonight. Yeah, share this out. We're coming live tonight on Facebook, on YouTube, on Periscope, and yes, we are live on Twitch. Ready to start. Blow that chat up. Let us know where you're coming from. Hey everyone, welcome to episode 7 of Tuesday's Fish Talk Live with Ron Demers. So today we're going to be putting our multi-stream show out on Periscope. We are on YouTube and we are on Twitch. So those of you that don't know Twitch is an awesome gaming experience platform, but they have a lot of different talk shows on there. So if you're one of those Fortnite guys out there that are playing Fortnite, you probably know exactly what I'm talking about. So if you want to find Ron Demers on any of these streams, just search for Ron Cichlids or Ron Demers, D-E-M-E-R-S, sorry. There's a little funny thing about it. I'll tell you about that. I changed his name on my Delio. So, but anyway, our mission, hey Ron, what's up? Our mission is to create a live show experience for you and with you. To gamify the social media kind of YouTube fish shows. We're adding new segments and sponsors every week. Actually, we've got 2 new sponsors tonight, which is going to be super awesome. And we've got tons and tons of great stuff for you tonight. If you are looking for a place that you want to talk shop or check out great fish and tanks, or you're looking to learn from some experts, this is a great show for you. The Ron Demers Facebook groups is definitely for you as well. So my name is Dave Gould. I am the man in the control room. I'm the director of the show, and I bring you all the graphics and all the moving stuff, feed you that experience. But one of the coolest things about being in this position is I also get the great honor of being able to introduce you to our host, Mr. Ron Demers. What's going on, Ron?
What's up, brother?
Hey, it's good to see you.
Good evening, everybody. Episode 7, be a good one. I know some of you guys have been looking forward to it. Just wanted to start by saying thanks to everybody for being on board and watching the show. And the clubhouse hit a milestone this week, 1,500 members.
Yeah, it's so awesome.
Growing every day by leaps and bounds, and it's just the type of group that I think we all enjoy. You know, we're keeping the drama out, we're talking about things that matter, and we're helping people. So I appreciate all of you.
Yeah, so let's give some shout outs. I see Catherine Walker and Catlin Douglas. my good friend, Mr. Chris Hebert. We've got Brian Attrip, Eric Steele, Joshua Cloud. Our wonderful Rebecca Dunn is our chat room coordinator, and she's online. We've got Gabriel Pyle. Good to see you, Gabriel. Jeff Rush, Mike LaForce, Randy Tipton. There's a lot of cool people on tonight. Go ahead. You want to read some off? Are you seeing them the way I am or no?
Michael's on. Joe's on. Randy's on. There's Chris from 420. What's up, my brother?
What's up?
James. So many names I recognize. Just almost every single one of them just ring a bell.
Yeah.
There's my boy Terry. Lots of good people. Yeah.
So this is our 7th episode. Ron, does it feel like the 7th episode?
Kind of torn between. It feels like I just started doing this and I've been doing this forever, but I'm physically not good enough. Like I've been doing this forever.
Yeah. But it's fun. It's fun. And, I think people are really taking to it. You've been delivering some really awesome topics and discussions, and people are learning stuff. So it's working out great. Hey, we're going to have a call-ins tonight. Thank you so much, Rebecca, for putting in the call-in number. She'll be doing that throughout the evening. And we have some great giveaways tonight. We're going to save that for later. But one of the spin to win tonight is going to be different. It's going to be the 3rd caller into the show. So prepare yourself. If you want to spin the wheel, you're going to have to call in. So that's just the way that's going to work. Let me do a couple of announcements. We did a little shout outs. Here's turn on the notifications. I show this every time. So if you're on any of the other streams, Periscope, YouTube, and Twitch, you're going to want to go ahead and subscribe. So give us the sub. But on Facebook, this is how you do your subscribe. You click that little bell right there. So anyhow, that's how we do that. And what are some of these other mentions? So going full screen, I put a lot of effort every week into making really cool videos and getting graphics and stuff, so they look better in full screen. One of the cool things, Ron, was I was checking out the comments about people watching it on their TV.
Yeah, I knew that's what you were going to say, man. That's got to be cool. I like to cast things, that I've recorded or video, whatever, to my TV, which is a 70-inch, and it just makes it feel like you're in a movie theater. So I can just imagine that this has got to be cool watching it, just sitting in your living room. Yeah.
And as you all can see, we're twinsies tonight. I got my Ron Cichlid shirt. Ron's got his Ron Cichlid shirt.
I look better in mine, though.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I can defer to that. So anyhow, don't forget to share and like this. So we want 100 viewers. We got 67 online now. How do we get more viewers? If you go and you share out this live show right now into your groups, that is the way we increase the members. So again, we will do that 100 viewer thing if that happens. The call-in show, there'll be a graphic, and like I said, Chat Mods are putting that in there. If you have any questions or comments about the show, any suggestions, like I forget who it was, but someone said, more Ron, less Dave. Okay, you got it.
We heard you.
Whatever. We got to get it all out there. The only way this show can go is if I do my part in the promoting and helping you all figure out how to do your shares and likes. That's the only way we can make this show work. Is
team effort. Absolutely.
Yeah. So why don't you tell us about the social media groups that you have going on? Say a little bit about each one.
So, of course, you all know, like I just mentioned, the Ron Demers Cichlid Clubhouse. We reached 1,500 members. I think it was yesterday or early today. We also have Mabuna Hangout. That's starting to grow. The Lake Tanganyika Clubhouse, the Aqua DIY, which we're going to refer to some tonight. Amazing Tank Showcase, Aquarius Marketplace, and a little more life we've seen into lately of the New World Cichlid Hangout.
Yeah. So, Ron, you're on LinkedIn, Instagram, and Twitter as well, right?
Don't know how to use them, but I'm on there.
Hey, we're getting you up to speed quick. Hey, one thing that I do want to throw out there is about sponsors. You're going to learn about 2 new great sponsors that we have for tonight's episode. But if you have an aquatics company or you're a distributor and you would like to sponsor an episode or sponsor the show, hit Ron up on his page. So that's that. I'll skip the giveaway rules and policies until we get there. Why don't you do the first 3 shout outs? Well, actually, let me do this, Ron, because I have that one special thing. I'll do the first 3, and then you do the other ones. So, of course, we want to do our shout-outs for our mods. Our mods are the hardest-working mods on social media, the best mods on social media. Well, you know how that goes. But Southeast Fish Cichlids, that's one of our mods, TJ Hofstadler, and he does a great job. I also wanted to shout out Ron has been developing a really great relationship with the 420 crew. And that's 420 Cichlids, one of the biggest, fastest growing groups I've ever seen. They just hit a 10,000 member mark. That's Mike Tuttle, Charlie Wood, Chris Ebert, and our buddy PK Campling out in Australia. And the reason I wanted to give this one is they have a special giveaway tomorrow. Anybody know what time? Any guess? 4:20 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And in that, let me see if I can find that. I may or may not too. This is one of the things I kind of forgot. So they're going to be, they got 10,000 members, and they're going to be giving away some great prizes, including hoodies and T-shirts and other bling that they have. They've got 420 Cichlid stickers. They got Blazing Glaze stickers, and they're also giving away a 25-foot python. They're giving away a pound of Ron Cichlid food. And they're also giving away a prize from one of the sponsors of tonight's show, and that is ADA Tank Supply out of Springfield, Missouri. So I wanted to give those shout-outs. I know it was a little much, but you want to get the other ones there, Ron?
Sure. West Coast Cichlid Exchange. Thank you, Isaac Garcia. And then Crown Royalty Cichlids, moderator on staff, Nathan Pate.
Yep.
Great group, growing quickly as well.
Yeah, keep it fishy.
Hashtag keep it fishy.
Yeah. So speaking of hashtags, we've got Ron has got some new contest software. So our whole deal of like doing the random generator and all that, forget about it. We will have instant access to the winners, and we do it with hashtags. And so if you don't know what a hashtag is, we kind of need to get you up to speed on that. Hashtag is the pound symbol. Apologize, I'm doing a little back end work here so we can see side by side. There we go. A hashtag is the pound symbol. So on social media, they use that for tracking stuff. So tonight on our spin to win, we're gonna do a call-in. So we're not gonna do on that one, but on one of our wins, it will be hashtag whatever I set up. We'll have to get there at the end later, but
yeah, we'll just come up with a simple word, and then it'll be hashtag in that word. And this software is pretty sophisticated. It's I had to invest in it to move what we're trying to do in the right direction and streamline everything. So it's going to be a lot easier. It's going to take a lot less time.
Sorry, I interrupted. Don't listen to me, Ron. Just keep on going. You're doing great.
It's just going to be a lot easier now. So basically, we're going to say enter hashtag, let's say, dog. Okay, hashtag dog. You're going to enter that. We're going to have a certain period of time. After that, we can just run this software and look for that hashtag. It'll automatically go through all the people who put that hashtag in, and it'll automatically pick a winner.
Yeah.
Pretty sophisticated.
Yeah, we'll show you that. It also is going to be great for a lot of different kinds of giveaways from the show. And I'm going to give you a sneak peek, and that is we can pick any post on the group or on the Ron Cichlids, and anybody that liked it or gave any sort of a reaction. So the reactions are your like, your heart, your anger, your sad, your laughing, and we can just give a prize away. And so we're going to do that randomly. So what does that mean? Yes, we're trying to get our group members to engage more. And how can we engage more? Well, it's kind of like an Easter egg. You don't know which post it's going to be. Maybe we'll be doing it off the commenting, whoever comments on a post. And it could just be some random post, be some guy's, picture of his sump. So the more you comment and the more you give reactions, the better chances of having some random prize come your way. So
it's like being in a raffle and you bought a bunch of tickets.
Yeah.
Same thing.
So we are on episode number 7, and let me give you an idea what Ron's gonna talk about tonight. So yeah, we're going to be talking about tank decorations, aquascaping, some quick tips. And because we're doing that, we have 2 really cool show sponsors tonight. So here's our show sponsors. Let me go to my other page here. The first one is ADA Tank Supply. They're out of Springfield, Missouri. That's Mr. Jeffrey Kirk and James Smith, a couple of great guys. Jeffrey's been in the hobby now for about 40 years. They're importers of aqua rock, and they're getting into custom CO2 setups. They do everything from small rocks, everything, even nano tanks, to huge, including custom solutions. If an aquarium called them up and wanted 300 pounds of rock, they can handle that. They're specializing in oku, which is that dragon rock, and also, if I brutalize this word, I apologize, the Japanese surei, which is usually like a black or gray rock. They specialize in that. They offer 2 to 3 shipping. They're in the middle of the country, Missouri, so it's usually 2 to 3 days, they say. They offer a 30-day money-back guarantee, and they have an eBay store. And all the rock that they send out is treated and cleaned. It's like ready. What you see is what you get, and it goes right in there. So they've given us 3 really cool choices. We'll be giving away some rock tonight. And our other... I'll just make sure I'm on the right path here. Yep, yeah, I am. Our other sponsor tonight is Mr. Chris Team with Aquadariums. He's giving you a $25 gift certificate for plants. Chris is an uprising aquarist who is introducing the hobby to something new, which is paludariums. Paludariums are those half vivarium and half aquarium type stuff. He is a award-winning. He goes to shows. He writes for international magazines. And all that. He specializes in paludariums, and he's out of Fairhope, Alabama, and he's a friend of mine. He lives local. I just saw him this morning at 7:30. Great guy. So those are our 2 show sponsors for tonight, and we're just going to go ahead and bring Ron back and let him go ahead and start on the topic.
Thanks, Dave.
Yes, sir.
Shout out. Thank you to the sponsors for the giveaways tonight. It looks like amazing prizes. Thank you. Tonight we're going to talk about tank decoration. We're going to touch on first building a bioscape or an aquascape. That means making the tank look like Mother Nature maybe intended it. You guys see pictures all the time of tanks that look very, very, very natural, like you just plucked it from Mother Nature. So we're going to touch on that tonight. We're going to touch on substrate, the different types, the sand, the gravel, the aragonites, the crushed shell, bare bottom, stuff like that. We're going to touch on backgrounds, 3D backgrounds, painted backgrounds, the printed sheets that you get at the local fish store. Also painted or DIY. Some of us have skills, and you might want to build your own. We're going to touch on rock, types of rocks, how to stack rock, how to prepare rock for the aquarium. We're going to touch on plants and wood. So the plants, live plants, artificial plants, driftwood. We're going to touch on lighting a little bit, the different types and different light intensities for different fish and different aquascapes. And then we'll talk about other types of decor, things that may not necessarily normally belong in an aquarium, but you want them in an aquarium, skulls or football helmets or a Hennessy bottle, things like that, something you may want to see in the aquarium. So those are the subjects that we're going to basically be discussing tonight. Yes. All right. Um, we're going to start first with bioscape or aquascape. Um, some people want their tanks to look certain way. They want a all natural. So if you're talking about, let's say, South American cichlids, you're going to want things like, wood and plants, and you're going to want, you may want to have all that look natural. So that's just something you sit back, kind of plan it out in your head, spend some time on the internet, figure out what designs. And that bioscape's going to be different depending on what you want and what types of fish that you have. Some types of fish you can get away with live plants. Some types of fish you can't. Um, Plan it out. Don't just rush into it. Plan it out, and then try to figure out how can I use this environment to hide, my heater, the filter intakes, maybe a power head, things like that. In your design. Um, Part of that is when you're building this environment is caves and potential places for fish to hide if that species of fish that you're catering to requires that. So it's picking the right rocks, picking the right decorations for not only for the fish, but understand, and we're going to touch on this a lot tonight, this is your tank. Do it however you want. Whatever makes you happy, great. If you like it open, keep it open. If you like it heavy clustered, keep it heavy clustered. There's benefits and downfalls to everything. We can talk about that a little later.
I'm laughing. Apparently, one of our chat coordinators got blocked because she was doing too many reactions. I'm sorry to hear that, Kimberly.
Oh yeah.
So the bioscape is basically the natural environment. One of the biggest things that you want to do is plan out what you want to do. How you're gonna go about that, and so having good knowledge of your fish. Different aquascapes, the Africans versus Amazons, are going to have different types of things. Where Amazons are mostly open with rocks, Amazons like to have cover, and fish feel more comfortable when they have things over their head, that kind of thing. Got to work into choosing your plants correctly. Obviously, the plants that are going to work in a higher alkaline or harder water aren't going to work in your Amazon, which is a lower pH and things like that. So, yeah.
So yeah, just basically plan it all out. If you want something like that, if you want to go other routes, which we'll talk about, then it doesn't involve as much thought. So one of the first things for decor, and most people don't think it's decor, but it is decorations, is substrate. This question comes up on the forum at least once a week. And on all the forums, what kind of substrate should I use? What should I use? Sand, or should I use gravel? Pool sand. So you've got a lot of choices. Just remember, regardless of what type you choose to get, rinse it out very well, okay? I got some today that was black sand, and I figured it was clean. I rinsed it off twice, thought it was clean, put it in a little tank to take some pictures of fish today, and it was cloudy. I didn't expect it to be, even after 2 rinsing. So make sure you wash it very, very thoroughly. So first type of substrate I'm going to talk about, because I'm an African cichlid guy, you guys know that, is sand. Per their habitat, they are in or around sand. They're going to be picking sand up. They're sand sifters, basically. A lot of these fish, they're going to be picking the sand up, pulling out little bugs and critters and whatever, and spitting the sand out. So the finer the sand, the better. They can feed more naturally. You've got different types of sand, and there's some things that I call sand that you may call, small gravel, but it's sand. So you've got aragonite sand, which is, I'm going to mention first, is because that's, you guys know me, that's what I recommend all the time. Aragonite sand comes in all different sizes. It comes very fine, like not powder, but more like a sugar. And then, my favorite is a #1 aragonite. Aragonite, crushed coral, crushed shells, any of that stuff needs to be rinsed out until 10-15 minutes per 5 pounds. I mean, you've got to rinse the stuff out. Very dusty.
Yeah, so it looks good, but it also provides awesome benefits for our Africans. That's right.
Aragonite, crushed coral, crushed shell, is the benefit of it all is it helps buffer your pH and your hardness of your water. So you're one of those people that your tap water or your groundwater, your well water, whatever, is relatively low, and you're always fighting, which you guys, any of you guys have been on the clubhouse this week have seen multiple people this week had tank crashes because they're part-time chemists and adding different chemicals to buffer pH. I'm not saying it doesn't work, but I'm saying if something's off a little bit, boom, you got an issue. Aragonite, crushed coral, crushed shell, those will naturally buffer your pH to 8, 8.2, even 8.4. I like aragonite sand because it's nice and fine. The fish can pick it up. Crushed coral is bigger. It's like gravel. It's about the size of your pinky fingernail. It's a little harder for the fish to pick it up, and I don't want them to pick up that. But a lot of people also use it in their filters as well to help buffer the pH. And then you've got crushed shells. It's not very popular, but they still sell them. But they basically take seashells. Say that real quick. Seashells. They crush them up, and it's little pieces of seashells. But you got to be careful with those. There's very sharp edges on them. And then you've got something that's very, very popular. I'm not necessarily an advocate of it, but pool sand. Pool sand or play sand you can get at your home improvement store for a couple bucks for a 20-pound bag. It's very, very fine sand, kind of like what they use in outdoor ashtrays and stuff. Looks good. It's very, very fine. It's very inexpensive. That's one of the only pros that I look at is it's very inexpensive, and it does look good. The downside of it is it does pack in and make anaerobic areas, and it's very difficult to gravel siphon. Second issue that I really have and the only reason why I don't use it anymore is I've had a problem with it getting into the intakes, getting into the filters, and then getting in the impellers on all of these motors. All these filters have an impeller.
Yeah.
And that sand acts like sandpaper.
That's where I was going to chime in too, is that play sand, I'm not an expert, but I would highly suggest not using it. It's not that much cheaper than buying pool sand. So pool sand is usually about $13 for 50 pounds, and it's a heavier sand, and it's a lot easier to vacuum, and it doesn't get into all of that.
Exactly.
But it is
sand as well.
Yeah, it is a cheap alternative, though. When you've got like 5 or 6 tanks, and you need to get 120 pounds of sand or substrate into a large tank, it can run some money, and I think a lot of newbies run into that. So they'll spend on the heavy Carib Sea and the different kinds. And there's some great ones like the different types of sand. But at $20 a bag for more than $1 a pound, it gets pretty expensive.
It does. It does. And it's funny because I usually catch people in the conversation is they're like, well, I'm just trying to save a few dollars. And I say, I can understand that, but you know, I'll say, explain your setup. Well, I have a 125-gallon tank. I've got 3 filters. I've got 52 fish. You know, they've got $3,000 into the tank, and they've bought the best equipment possible, but they buy the cheapest sand for some odd reason. It looks good, don't get me wrong. And then you have, like Dave just said, you've got other alternatives that are heavier and they won't get up into the surface.
Yeah, one of the best buys that I found, because I'm always looking for less than $1 per pound, is the Carib Sea Aragonite. Okay, the 10-pound bag is $4.95 on Petco.com. Okay, and it's so that's 50 cents a pound. I bought 140 pounds, and they charged me $6 shipping to Alabama. So, I mean, I think, you know, that's pretty good. I bought 100, so $70 got me 140 pounds. I put it in two of the tanks. There's plenty. It's good stuff, and it helps with the buffer. That's, to me, that's the greatest advantage of using Aragonite and crushed coral, is that my 7.0 tap water instantly went to 7.8 and got me up in there. So,
and then you can mix it too. So some of you look at Carib Sea and you're like, man, you got a good deal. But normally for the people going to the pet store, it's expensive.
Yeah,
you know, it's like $2 and something a pound. And there's another kind out there that's you can do with salt and pepper. So you can basically take like Aragonite, which is a white, and you could take like something like National Geographic, PetSmart has it. It's really good stuff, like a black, and then you can mix it in proportion, and you can get that salt and pepper look.
Yeah,
and you can still have the Aragonite to do your buffering, but you can get that black, and you can save a little bit of money by mixing the two.
Yeah, and a lot of people use that black sand blasting. So diamond black blasting sand is relatively cheap too. I think it's roughly about between $15 and $20 for 50 pounds. So that's a good way.
And that's the type of sand they actually use in sand blasters.
Yeah.
Sand blaster is designed to remove paint from stuff, and they shoot it out in a high force, and it basically just instant sandpapers whatever it touches. Yeah. So
and I think on the sand you want to know that is part of your design. Your fish will actually look different if you have black sand.
Act different.
Yeah, act different, look different. The light bounces off differently, and I really enjoy the black sand tanks. But you will see the poops and the extra stuff a lot more on black sand. Did we cover substrate? Like I said, we're going to move quickly through a lot of this stuff, mostly because we want to open up more question and answer and still continue to talk about it.
Yep. And then last but not least is just standard aquarium gravel. You know, what you're used to seeing when you were a kid, and they still make it. There's realistically no benefit to it. It's just gravel. I like the finer sand. I think a lot of us African hobbyists do, because it doesn't allow all the crap and stuff to get down in there. It kind of stays on top, lets the filters get it up. Tank looks cleaner. Yeah, lots of benefits.
That's actually a really good point. So one of the benefits of sand is that it traps the waste at the top layer, so it's easier to vacuum off. Where you have those bigger gravel rocks, the waste will get in there, obviously trap some of the waste, and if you're not doing a real good job, your nitrates will go up a little bit higher. So
absolutely.
Yeah. What about backgrounds, Ron? What were your thoughts on backgrounds? I know there's a lot of different cool things you can do on backgrounds.
A lot of choices for backgrounds. Me, I'm old school. I like a standard black background. But there's so many options these days, more than ever. The 3D backgrounds have taken off quick. A lot of companies are making them. They're making thin ones. They're making thicker ones. They make custom, any size tank you got, any height, they can make them. You don't really need any skill whatsoever. It comes with instructions. They look so realistic. I mean, they look like you just put on a pair of goggles, jumped into the lake.
Let me pull up some pictures, but let's look. I'll give a quick example what he's talking about. Let's see if I can find one.
These
here.
We're all non-toxic.
Yeah, this is 3Ds here.
You know, so when you look, I mean, you think that what you're seeing here is somebody putting rock in there. It's not. It's literally that rock that you see. Go back to that last picture. That rock that you see in the background right there, which is gray, that's not real rock.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a background 3D that gives you that 3D depth. Like that is really a rock. It's pretty
Yeah.
neat.
Yeah.
It is expensive, but for those people that have one or two tanks and they're trying to get that bioscape and they're just trying to have that, oh my God, wow factor, 3D backgrounds definitely give that to you. So many choices. You can go Amazon with like wood looking, you can go rocks, you can shelves, you can do. I've even seen some that actually they're thin on the bottom and they're thick on the top, kind of making it look like an overhang. And
Yeah, yeah. I love that. You know,
amazing.
You know, one of the things that you know, we put these shows together. We have brainstorms. We get together. We talk about what might sound good. One of the things about the decor episode that we talked about is that this is really so unique to you. This is your tank. You're going to build it however you want. What Ron is talking about is, you know, just some of the things that he's seen, and we're trying to talk about different options and things like that. The 3D backgrounds are great. You can buy them from like Universal Background. They can run you as much as $300 for a 120-gallon tank. There's a lot of DIY stuff. And like I said, I put 3 really good videos on the Aqua DIY group for building your own. And it basically has to do with using some polyurethane and making molds and putting cement in there, or different foam kinds, or carving foam and then covering it with cement. That seals the foam and things like that.
Labor intensive,
yeah,
but when
yeah.
you're done with it,
yeah,
you can look at it and you can have a sense of pride.
Yeah.
I did that.
I think I'm going to try to do that at some point, but again, it's like you want to make a commitment on it. You're not going to do it on.
And you got to be careful on your foams and stuff. I know a few people who have made them, and the foam density, regardless how much concrete that they put on there, it was so buoyant that they couldn't keep it down into the tank.
Yeah, yeah.
But
most people, they'll either paint the background or they buy those printed backgrounds. Those are the easy ways to get backgrounds on there. What are the couple ways as far as painting? Let's give out a couple tips and tricks on that.
I personally haven't painted a tank yet. I know a lot of people who have. Basically, just clean it off really, really good, alcohol, and then tape it all off and go into a well-ventilated area. And if you use, you can use spray paint, just standard black spray paint. Figure out what you want. Don't get matte black. It's not going to look right. You know, get satin or glossy and do some research. Figure out what color, what finish of black or whatever color you want looks the best. I have some painted tanks that are blue that I keep on my porch, and I kind of like blue, but in my tanks that are in the house, most of my tanks I like black.
So I've done a couple of paintings. So I'll give you the what I learned from painting. For one, you can use spray paint, but I'm always leery of spray paint because spray paint, if it doesn't cure all that 100%, it gets on the inside of the tank, it could cause problem with the fish. So you definitely want to mask out the opening if you're going to use spray paint. What I used,
by the way, make sure you do all the painting and everything of the back of the tank. Never do the inside.
Yeah, the back of the tank. So what I used, what I really like, but it has some benefits and some not so benefits, is using acrylic paint. So you can go to Walmart and buy a little jar of acrylic gloss paint, and then buy those little 4-inch foam rollers, and you roll it on. Now, it takes several coats because it needs to build up to be black, and it's a little bit more scratch prone. You can easily scratch that paint off, so you kind of have to be careful. So on my main tank, most of my intakes go over the sides because I don't want it to scratch on the back, scratch it off and whatnot. And that's because my back is not up against a wall. It's open. It's over the back of the couch. So any light would shine right through it. But it's a pretty painless process. You know, I think I've coated it 4 times and it was done. and you just roll it on, and there you go. So it's not that hard to do that, and it's a lot easier than taking a printed background and trying to get that to stick.
The problem with the printed ones is you have to tape it on there, and if you don't get it just right, if you get a splash or something, it gets between the printed sheet and the back of the tank, and then you get the run. You get like a water stain down the back of your tank, and there's no way for you to get to it because it's in the back of the tank, between the tank and the wall, between the tank and the printed sheet that you bought. Now, the printed sheets are nice. You can find some that have a very natural scene. You can get blue, you can get black, you can get. I just got some today at PetSmart for a little 2.5 gallon for photography. Blue on one side, black on the other. You can get coral scenes. You can get all sorts of scenes on it. Just make sure you cut it out to where it's the size of the glass, and you can get it up underneath the molding of the tank, and then you can put a piece of tape across. I like packaging tape. So if you do get a splash, it goes over the top of the packaging tape and on the back, and it never gets on anything. But those are the common methods most people have seen, are used to. But there's one other one that I experimented with about 1.5 years ago, and I loved it, and I still use it. At Home Depot, Lowe's, any of your home improvement stores, you go over to the window blind section. They make a window tint, a household window tint. You can get a very, very dark one, like a limo tint, basically. It's not solid black. It's as close as you can possibly get. And you just clean the back of the tank. You mist it like you would put tint on a window in your car. Then you squeegee it on. And once it's on there, buddy, it's on there. I mean, it's not coming off, and you don't have to worry about water getting in there. I did one more layer after that, and it was jet black as the night is. I mean, and I loved it. There was never any water stains. It never peeled off, and it was cheap. I think the tint with the kit was maybe, I think a tint was like $8 or $10, and I think the kit was another $8, with the sprayer and stuff. So 25 bucks, and I did a 250-gallon aquarium with it.
Yeah.
So that's another option.
Absolutely. So we've talked a little bit about substrate. Again, this is all about putting design together, having everything work in a balance. So if black backgrounds make green plants pop, make white rocks pop, make blue, really colorful fish pop.
Fish pop, yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about rock. That's one of the ways you can really get some dramatic effects in your tank. Let's just go ahead and try to dive into this a little
rocks. Me personally, I like to collect rocks from Mother Nature. I'm a huge outdoorsman. I find a rock that catches my eye, I get it. A lot of people have a fish, and if I ask you, hey, Joe, where did you get that fish from? You remember where you got that fish from. For me, I'm that way with rocks. I like collecting rocks. There's for African cichlids, which, as you know, is my forte. It's typically rock in their natural habitat. There is rock reef habitats and tidal areas. That's rock. It's basically rock and sand. That's it. There are some shallow areas where there is specific plants and stuff, but for the most part, when you see an African cichlid tank, you typically seeing some type of rocks or rock formation. So you've got lots of different types of rocks. You've got something that's very popular, you all have heard of, is holy rock. It is a rock that's got natural, it's like a limestone holes that go through it so the fish can kind of swim through it. You can get it as rock, and you can get it manufactured where it's not rock. Costs more money that way, but it doesn't have the same weight. Granite, I love granite. It's got chips of white and different colors in it. Slate is very popular. Slate is that thin stuff.
I think I have a picture here.
You want to stack.
Oh, go ahead. I'm just trying. I had a picture here.
No,
But
I
it
know.
just won't work.
I just moved my head. Sorry.
So, so
You've
yeah,
got Dragon Rock. You've got River Rock. River Rock is stuff that you see like in rivers and streams in north, central to north part of the U.S. Or out west in the river or stream. You'll see these round rocks that are there's no rough edge on them. That's what we call river rock. You also got um, Dragon Rock. You have Base Rock. Base Rock is basically was in salt water at some point in time, part of a coral reef structure. That will also help with your pH because it is basically a rock that had a coral living on it at some point in time, and the coral is now dead. So
it's another good rock too, but you have to be a little careful with it. Is your lava rocks? They look great. I like putting bubblers under it, and it does crazy things with the bubbles. But it's extremely sharp rock, so you kind of have to.
And it breaks down.
Yeah, you have to watch it with your
lava rock
fish.
Breaks down over time. Pieces will fall off, and it's very sharp.
Yeah.
I've seen people use chunks of it the size of ping pong balls as a substrate. It was just a mess, and in the big chunks of it too. Lava rock, like if you can get the black lava rock or what we call lace rock, it's beautiful. It's got like this very airy look to it, but be careful. It's sharp. I mean, it doesn't look sharp, but it's lava rock. It's very sharp. It's not something I would recommend a lot of in a tank.
Yeah.
And then these days you've got a lot of artificial rocks. So many of them. You've got something that I'm hit or miss with. I like some, some I don't. But you've got cichlid stones and cichlid caves. They're made out of clay and they're fired, and they have a realistic rock look to it with a hole in it. Or some are round, some look like river rock, some look like a chunk of rock, but they've got this little hole in it, and they're very thin, but they look like a rock, and they've got a hole in it. Great for things like Mabuna, or like jewels, or like crebensis, or any fish that even your Tanganyikans are really good for Tanganyikans, especially the smaller ones. Your shell dwellers, your calvis, your lulupis, fish like that like those ocellatas. They like those caves. But you can get those in they're artificial. They look real. You've also got this fox called rocks. It's fox. It's not. It's manufactured. It looks like a real rock, but it's not. It's made out of either a plastic or a resin or something. Just enough weight to keep it where you put it, but looks like a real rock.
Yeah, that's a French word. It's faux. So it's faux rocks. Yeah.
That's why I was struggling with it. I know you pronounce it differently, but
here, let me change the spelling. You'd laugh if you saw our road maps. I like cichlid stones. I think the Mbuna are great. The Mbuna particularly really like rocks. They like to have their one little niche. They like to be inside stuff. They like to have things over their head. So I have some cichlid rocks with mine, and yeah, I mean, so basically we've got real rock and artificial rock. The advantages to artificial rock is it's a lot less weight. And so if you got these large aquariums that are weighing 1,300 pounds, you're living in a Victorian house that was built in 1870, right? And you're underneath in the basement trying to jack up the corner that's sliding down. Having an extra 200 or 300 pounds of rock in there is off there. I really like the holy rock, artificial holy rock. It's a little too expensive for my taste, though. I mean, I can't afford it. It's like
there's another rock. I forgot the name of it. I got a piece of it on the porch, but it's got the it comes in different size weird chunks, but it's got that got like a light tan, and it's got like the red waves of
I think that's dragon rock. So that's one of the things that ADA Tank Supply is offering some Soreyu Japanese rock or dragon rock, whatever you choose. They got 3 different rocks that they're gonna offer, and you choose the one, whoever wins.
Just like Dave said, just remember with these rocks, they do add a lot of weight.
Yeah.
So when you start deciding, hey, how am I gonna put all of these in my aquarium? You need to sit back again, like we talked about in the beginning, and look at your pile of rocks. So if you're gonna go get rocks, you can go out, you can go collecting them from the wild. You can go to the pet store. Another great resource for rocks at a great price is a landscape supply place. Some place where you would go buy mulch or plants or whatever. They sell rock. It's typically 30, 40, 50 cents a pound, way cheaper than the store. Find pieces that are going to be a puzzle, so to speak, for what you're trying to accomplish. If you are wanting to build something that looks like an open overhang, you need two chunky rocks that are kind of flat on the top. Then you need a more of a shelf type rock to go on top of it.
So that's kind of what I was thinking, is if we can throw out some tips and tricks, as far as processing some of the things that we know about tips. I know egg crates. So, the lighting egg crates, if you use that on the bottom of your tank and then cover the egg crate with sand, you won't have the hard spots right on the glass. That happens a lot with a heavy rock.
Plus the benefit of that is we all know cichlids dig.
Yeah.
And people are worried that the fish digs under the rock and then the rock will shift.
Yeah.
That helps keep that from happening.
Talk to us about processing rocks. You said you like to go out and hunt your own, but sometimes you just don't want to throw rock out of a creek right into your aquarium.
Absolutely. My standard protocol for collecting, after I collect rock, I really like granite. I in a lot of my tanks, I have this grayish black streaked with white and silver granite. First thing I do is I pressure wash it. And I've got a big ass pressure washer. I hit it really good from all angles. I typically can't boil my rocks because of the size of them, but I'll put boiling water on them. Depending if they've got a dirty spot, like it's been sitting in the mud or something for a long time, and I can't get it off with a pressure washer, I'll get a bristle brush and some light bleach, and then I'll rinse it off really, really well again. And then I'm in Florida, so I usually let it sit outside and I let the sun bake it off for a couple days, and then they're usually good to go. Just be careful where you're getting rock from. I mean, if you're getting it from the culvert on the side of the road, that's highway runoff.
Yeah, horse manure.
Don't put it in your aquarium, you know. But if you're walking in the woods in North Carolina with your family and you see a beautiful rock in stream that you just went across and you want to keep it, just give it a little bit of a process to clean it off, just to make sure you got no pathogens on there or bacteria or poo or something else that's on there that you don't want to transmit back to the tank.
So boiling, washing using a scrub brush, pressure washing, light bleach if you have to, but you're going to want to soak that rock back in some water that has some dechlorinator in there, some sort of sulfur dechlorinator like Prime or Safe. So
boiling water helps kill anything if you've got any pathogens on there as well. But you got to remember one thing about bleach. A lot of people are very, 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 very scared of using bleach. But understand that chlorine will kill the vast majority of pathogens in contact. It is some violent stuff. It does its job, and you can rinse it right off, and you can soak it, or you can pressure wash it again, and you can counteract you putting the bleach on there. So don't be scared of it. Just don't go crazy with it.
So, hey, Ron, I knew this would happen because there's just so much on here. We've been talking for almost 52 minutes,
I see that.
The bulk of the show. I think what we can do is...
we can fly through the rest, and then we can do everything else if you want.
Yeah, why don't I take this next one just real quick? So, a big factor of aquascaping, which is designing, your underwater environment, is planning it out. And so one of the coolest things to think about in your tank is that you'll have a cover You'll have things that are in the front, things that are in the mid, and you'll have backgrounds. So some rocks are better in the background with larger plants in the background, for instance, and smaller plants in the front. But when you actually put the design into it, you'll get some really good results. So just keep that in mind. And why don't you go with the driftwood? Let's just talk a little bit about driftwood.
I'm just going to fly through the last couple so we can take care of the rest of the show. Driftwood. Some types of wood can alter your pH and lower it because of tannin acids. Some of it won't. If you have a problem with weighing it down, there are some options. Silicone it to a plate. You can wedge it under a rock. Or something I've done before is I've taken a small piece of slate, I drilled a hole through it with a masonry drill bit, and I run a stainless steel screw through the hole in the rock into the wood. That'll hold it down. If you like wood, great. Just keep an eye on your pH. Some affects it, some doesn't. Yeah. Live plants.
Well, before we go there, I just want to interject this one part. Mopani. So all the new people out there, look for Mopani driftwood. It's an African driftwood. It's a little denser. It sinks a little bit faster and doesn't have as many pH swings on that.
It does not. Yeah, it's not supposed to alter your.
Mopani.
Yeah, it's Mopani.
Yeah,
I think
it's pretty close. I love it. So
and then you've got live plants.
Yeah.
It's not typical of African cichlid aquariums because we all know a lot of Africans like to chew on stuff, but you can get away with it with Tanganyikans and certain species. But there are specific plants that are African cichlid plants, that can handle the harder, more alkaline water, like Anubias, Java fern, Vallisneira, Crinum. There are types, but be careful. As we know, fish can uproot them, and then before you know it, your plant's at the surface.
Yeah. For the most part, those plants also are not tasty to your fish. Anubias being one of those. So, when you're putting together your tanks, you're always looking at design to step away from it, look in there. Sometimes you want to do it for your fish, like, hey, my fish going to enjoy these caves and these extra hiding spots and all of that. One of the things that really makes a great decorated tank is lighting and using multiple sources of lighting. So if you have a good light up above, you can use spotlights. There's some great underwater spotlights. There's also some underwater tubings where you can light just a feature on that, and all of that. And then I'll let you cover the very last one, this other decor. I love A on there, other decor A.
So other decor is anything else you want to put in your tank.
Yeah.
So
whiskey bottles.
SpongeBob SquarePants. If you want to put themed SpongeBob SquarePants stuff in there, go ahead. Your tank. You could put things like somebody recently had a football helmet in there. I've seen whiskey bottles. I've seen all sorts of stuff in a fish tank. You got clay pots. Clay pots are still relatively popular. PVC pipes, bricks. Just make sure it's clean. And then if you are going to put something in a tank that may not necessarily belong in a tank, make sure it's painted, and then or sealed where it won't leach out any chemicals into the tank. And also be careful that whatever you're putting in, you have to be very careful. It may have glue, it may have toxins, it may have something that it may leak out into the tank. But you can put it whatever you like in there. Just try to avoid certain things. Try to avoid metal. You'll see in my tanks, I'll put forks in there with zucchini. I don't leave the forks in there for more than a few days, and they're stainless steel forks anyway. But he's showing now some pictures of tanks with rockscapes or 3D backgrounds, and this is just stuff that.
Yeah, I'm just running through these pictures that we pulled out.
And that lighting plays on that as well. I like a little bit less lighting with stuff like that, so it just accents the fish so much better. But in conclusion,
go ahead. I'm sorry, I'll keep this on there. Go ahead.
In conclusion to what we spoke about tonight, I know there's just a lot of information. This isn't this is the way we want to do it. This is just information on options. is we touched on building a bioscape, a natural looking environment. We touched on the different types of substrates, ones with benefits, ones without benefits, cost versus pH buffering, different types of backgrounds, things that we're used to in the new stuff, which is 3D backgrounds, rocks, different types of rocks, and how to take care of them, process and stack and deal with rocks. Plants and wood, we touched on it real quick. Don't be scared of plants and wood. Just sit back and think about it a little bit on how you're going to do it to make sure you don't mess with the pH and the fish don't eat all your plants. Lighting. Lighting will probably be partial into another a topic here in the near future as well. And then other decor. Just make sure you don't stick anything in your aquarium if you're not certain what its origins are.
Absolutely. So that was great, Ron. Really, there's a lot going on, but I think the amount of tips and tricks and the little bits of information, I think people are really, really going to dig that. We're going to get ready and just do a real quick break. We want to show our sponsors as well. We have a little bit from our sponsors. Again, thank you so much to ADA Tank Supply and Aquadariums for providing tonight's, and we'll do a little question and answer, and we'll start giving some stuff away. So we'll be right back. So our sponsors, we want to help them grow their Facebook pages, particularly ADA's Tank Supply. So if you can go to their Facebook page, it's going to be facebook.com/ADA Tank Supply. Give them a like, okay? We really need to, as a group, do our part and help them out and growing their platform. So please do that right now. Go there and do that. Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much, Jeffrey Kirk and James Smith, for that. And we're going to give away some rock that looks just like that. It's their Dragon Rock, the Oko.
I'm from Rochester, Illinois. Try Ron Cichlids, you guys. His fish are awesome. They're big, beautiful, vibrant. I got a couple of them in here. Also, his food. His food is unreal. They devour it. They splash me for it. That's the only bad thing I can say about the food is I get wet every time I feed them almost. But 5 stars all around. Get a hold of Ron, roncichlids.com.
All right, Ron, we're back. I have three callers have called in. If you're listening to this right now, please hold. We're going to get to you, so just stay on there and we'll get back with you. So let's go to a little bit of, let me just pull this back. I got a lot of moving parts.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to, whoever's in area code 626, I'm going to bring you on right now for a question. Who are we speaking to? Let me unmute you. So your area code is 626. Who we got online?
Well.
Noel. Go ahead, Ron.
Hey.
You have a question for us on the about tank decor at all?
No, I'm just calling to see if I get lucky for the spin.
Yeah, absolutely. So you were number 1. We appreciate you calling in, and we're doing it on number 3 for the spin. So
Okay.
I appreciate you. Thanks for calling. Where are you calling from anyway?
I'm calling from Rosemead, California.
Rosemead is in the house.
Nice.
Really appreciate you, Noel. Sorry you didn't get it this time, but next time for sure. Keep doing it, because we're trying to gamify this social media experience, right? And it takes a lot of effort and for you to call in, and we really do appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Oh,
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Okay, thank you.
All right, we'll see if the next person. This person is area code.
That's me. That's my house.
561.
That's my house.
So who's at
Hello?
5? Yes, how are you? Who's this?
Hey, Jim Geluso.
What's up,
Jim. Representing
Hey,
Palm
guys.
Beach, Florida. What's up, brother?
Hey, calling you from Jupiter.
Nice.
Nice. So tell us about yourself. What kind of tanks you keep? You got multiple tank syndrome going on at your house?
Well, it seems like it's growing.
Yeah.
I have a Cichlid Hab 220. I also have 255s, and I just picked up a 125.
Nice. Guess you're gonna be coming to visit me soon if you got a new 125.
Oh, I've been dying to come see you. Hit or miss with you.
So what you got going on for your decor? What's your favorite decor? What do you like to do?
Well, I actually use the fake rocks, Cichlid rocks, and I do some fake, wood. So nothing real. I don't have any real rocks, but most. I also the back. I actually sprayed one tank, a large tank with the rubber plex steel, and then the other one I sprayed with regular black paint. They both seem to be working.
Are you talking about that rubber like tool dip stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome.
How did that work out? Pretty good?
Yeah, it works great. Again, you got to watch for, scratching or any kind of movement. But it's holding up fine. It's been over a year now and no issues.
Nice.
So we appreciate you calling in. Like I said, we're doing the spin to win on the third third call. You were number 2. We totally appreciate you calling again, and thank you for helping out make this show really great. Appreciate
Thanks,
you.
Jim. See you
All
soon,
right.
brother.
Thanks, guys.
All right.
All right, Ron. See you.
Later.
Okay, so let's go ahead and go to the chat board. I still have one more. So whoever is in 630, keep holding. We'll get to you here in a second because you're going to spin the wheel. Anthracite rocks, also known as coal for decor. Putting coal. I wouldn't imagine you want to put a petroleum product in your tank. Dennis Kramer's asking that.
I would venture to say that's probably not a good idea.
Yeah. Let's see. Anybody else have any questions?
If your fish lights up with smoke or something, poof.
Yes. So Randy Tipton's asking about YouTube. No, we use Facebook chat as our main one. We may integrate YouTube, but at this particular point, no. Let's see. I'm looking for more questions. Lots of comment. Who are you going to call?
We broadcast to you.
Yeah, it's being broadcast to YouTube right now. But as far as the chat, live chat, it's on Facebook. Okay. Anybody else have any? Oh, here's we go. That was the anthracite. All right. So let's go ahead and let this next person in. Area code 630. Who are we talking to? Welcome to Fish Talk Live.
Hey, a question for you. As far as do like a black background and sand, if you notice that there's less aggression or more aggression?
No, it's got nothing to do with aggression.
Yeah.
No. I've had all different color backgrounds, and I don't notice a color of background having anything to do with aggression. I do like tanks that have a background instead of not having a background, but no, I don't like, me personally. I don't want to push this off anybody. I'm not a fan of black sand. If it's in a room that's not lit very well, there's shadows and stuff that cause fish to get skittish, but not. I've never seen aggression issues due to that.
Okay, yeah, I didn't know if it would just like help with their comfort. I mean, you think like fishing, they're always trying to be in the shade or stuff like that.
Yeah,
I didn't know if it actually helped them.
But typically, I'm a fisherman. Typically, fish but the predators are ambush predators. They're hiding in the shade for the same reason a state trooper is hiding around behind a tree so you can't see him. Yeah. So when you're speeding and you come around the corner, you go, "Oh crap!" and there he is. It's the same thing with fish.
I don't think we got your name. What was your name and where are you calling from?
Nick Williams from Wisconsin.
Nice. Awesome.
Nice and cold up there.
Yeah. Are you staying warm?
Oh yeah, we're in the 20s right now.
Yeah. You probably burn through heaters every year, huh, for your fish tanks?
Not too bad. Keep the house pretty warm.
We appreciate you calling in. We're going to have you spin, so just go ahead and hold on 1 second. We're going to answer 2 more quick questions, and then we're going to have you spin. So let me go ahead and mute you for 1 second, Nick. Hey, you're going to win something today, by the way, and we appreciate you calling in.
Sounds good to me.
So hold on just 1 second. All right, so I knew that was going to happen. I had 2 questions in front of me. Somebody was asking how often do you have to change your sand? Basically, you don't have to change your sand, but you do want to at least once a month kind of stir it up a little bit. You don't want pockets to go in there and things like that. Another question real quick was about lighting and all of that. Hey, a little bit of white lighting with some red in it makes African cichlids pop. So if you add a little bit of red, if you have that ability to do that, it makes that pop. So
blue is the key with Africans.
Yeah. Essentic or whatever they call that.
Blue, yep. That blues. I mean, I just set up the 150-gallon living room, and I actually took down the whites and brought up the blues and just made it dimmer, and the friggin' fish just pop. I mean, it's beautiful.
Okay, so what we're going to do, like we do every week, is go ahead and carry these questions on into your groups, into our chat. We'll answer each question. We'll answer them in here as we go through. We're going to go ahead and let Nick spin the wheel, and so I want to do that. So we're going to give away 3 things right now. First one's coming from Ron, and that's on the spin to win on the wheel. Nick has a chance to actually win a fish if he hits the grand prize. After that, we are going to go ahead and pick the winners for both aquadariums and ADA. I want to show you the ADA real quick if I can get there. Let me see. Bear with me. I'm sorry. I'm a little. Oh gosh. I just don't see it. It's got to be down here.
Were you looking for the promo?
No, it's a spin to win. I wanted to do this. There we go. Okay, so here we go. Let me send this over. So with ADA Tank Supply, they've offered these 3 rocks. These are roughly about $50 rocks. This is the dragon rock here, the Oko, and then there's a couple of Japanese rocks. Beautiful, beautiful rocks. Hopefully you can get a good chance. You'll have your pick of which one of these 3 rocks, whichever one you think will go in there. The way you can do that, and we're using our new chat software and our new contest software, is you need to type into the chat #win, and we're going to draw for the rock and for the $25 gift certificate from Aquadarium. So #win. You have to have the pound symbol and win, and that's it. #win. So while we let you do that, we're going to go ahead and spin the wheel with Nick. So thanks for holding, Nick. So there's 2 variables we can do on this wheel. And one of them is how many seconds would you like the wheel to spin?
We'll go 7 seconds.
Okay, 7 seconds. And apply that. And then if you're watching the show right now, you'll see that this grand prize here is the black sliver. And so that's one of the other ways to affect its randomness is where you start from. So give me a number from 1 to 12, and I'll start it on the clock from there.
We'll go 3.
Okay, so put it right on 3. And good luck, Nick. And here it goes. So you want 100 cichlid bucks on Ron's website. You have to have an account, so just go on the account. You do that. We're going to put 100 cichlid bucks into your account. We appreciate you calling in. It's really awesome. It's been hard for us to get people to call in, Ron, so it's really awesome. Appreciate it.
Tonight. We had to bribe them with a spin to win.
Yeah. So we really appreciate those. For those of you that are wanting to win, we still need to see those hashtags. And please do this as well, Nick. Put your hashtag win. And let me show you how that's going to work here. I'm going to let you go. Nick, thanks a lot for calling in, huh?
Thank you, Nick.
Hey, I appreciate it.
Have a good day, buddy.
All right.
You too.
I've got so many moving parts. Okay, so cool. All right, so here we are. And do you think we've let them have enough time for the hashtag win? Hashtag win?
I don't know how much of a lag there is. I've only seen like 5.
Yeah.
I think you're just coming up now, 6.
Yeah. All right, so I'll go ahead and play that music, but you want to put hashtag win, and I'm going to play that music. When this music's done, we're going to be done, and we're going to go ahead and draw 2 people for those 2 prizes.
And 1 entry per person, please.
Yeah.
This is going to be the honesty system, all right? If you put more than 1 in, it's going to know that you put more than 1 in, and we don't want to be that person to smack your wrist, but please be fair to everybody.
Yeah. So the software that we have is specifically designed to run contests online and in live. So it has a little bit of artificial intelligence, and so it actually has a parameter that says if somebody enters twice to what to do with them. And at some point, if there's some abuses, we can just put it so that you're not eligible for that. But we don't want to go there. So we're using the honest system. And I need to pull up. There's a random generator. There's our spin to win. And here is our. This is how we're going to do it now. So we have a specific software that is a random generator. And if I refresh here and I pull this up, sign in.
Got 63 people on right now, and I don't think we've gotten more than 15, 20. So this is free stuff, guys. If you're on and you're watching and you want to win something or have a possibility of winning something, this is free. All you got to do is put hashtag win, and we're going to do the drawing soon.
Mm-hmm. So anyway, we're learning stuff as we go. It's not allowing us to do this in real time. So no, I can't really comment on it because I don't know what's happening. But it's supposed to show up. It's the way it showed up in test, of course. Everything always works perfectly when you're testing things. And then when you go live and you've got like 100 and something people that are staring at you and going, what's going on? Don't worry. It will work at some point. We just might not be able to announce who you are at that time. Part of the contest software allows you to do a claim your prize, and it does a unique verifier via your Facebook account that might be going over people's heads. But you'll get a notification if you do win, and we will do that. So I'm not sure if I have the wrong dates. Is today the 11th? Let's say today. Apply changes. Try that. It's always embarrassing for me, but whatever. Oh, that was fun. All right, so 2 people are going to win. We're going to pull it off that way and do that. I didn't realize that we weren't on there as far as that goes. Let's go ahead and just push through towards the end. Keep putting it in. If you haven't put it in yet and you don't know, like, okay, so Joanne, you've got 4 hashtags and a win. That's probably not going to work. But anyway, hashtag win. You put that on there. We're going to draw 2 people. Some people are going to win some rock and all that. So the fish of the week, Ron, let's do that real fast.
Fish of the week this week is a Protomilus Gladys Mara Rock Sulphurhead. It's a lot of fish in this hobby are nicknamed Sulphurhead. This is the Hap Sulphurhead. These guys get about 10 inches long. They're a deep purple color. They get a yellow blaze across the top of them. Pretty chill fish. They're not very aggressive. They kind of mind their own business, but look good in the process. I have a handful of big guys. They're all 5.5 to 6 inches. This week they're 25% off for the next 2 days.
Yep.
The fish of the week.
So if you want this fish, they're normally about $30 and 25% off gets you somewhere around $20, give or take $1. Use the code Mara Rocks. It's going to be available till Thursday night. This is a way to just get some really cool fish for relatively cheap. I liked how the color popped when you put your hand in there. So, yeah, so we're going to pretty much wrap the show up here. We've got a raffle coming up on Friday. So here's the fish for that raffle. This is going to be a paid raffle, $5 for spots. Tell them about this real quick, Ron.
We'll be having a raffle on Friday, and it'll go until all the spots are filled. This will be on my Ron Cichlids business page. So it's $5 a ticket, 45 spots, and these you will get the winner will get a choice of one of these 2 fish, your choice, whoever wins. These are both breeder males of mine that are truly amazing fish. One of them is a blueberry briar eye, every bit of 4 3/4 to 5 inches. And then one is an extremely hard to find. I can't tell you how many people want this fish. It's a sunburst briar eye. He's that platinum fish with the orange fins. It's a mutated version of a white knight that actually has orange in him. So I've nicknamed him Sunburst Platinum. There are a few others in the hobby called Sunburst, but not as much. So this raffle will be Friday. It includes shipping. You can buy as many tickets as you want. We will also do the drawing a little differently. We're going to do it the same way we're going to do these ones tonight. You're not going to be assigned a number. You're just going to reply back once it's paid. And for every ticket you buy, you reply back. Probably going to be hashtag raffle or hashtag fish. We don't know yet. See the post later in the week on Ron Cichlids business page. And so our live drawing.
Yep. So we're going to have that on Friday. Every 2 weeks, Ron Cichlids is going to have a raffle now. It's going to help cover some of the things that we want to do on the show and also give you an opportunity to buy some of Ron's awesome breeder fish that he is willing to let go. So I've seen the chat blow up. There's always haters out there. Yes, some people are having lags on their Facebook, YouTube. It's really bad. So was not you, but you do. So, there's a lot of different things that go on. I upgraded my internet, and I watched what I'm giving the internet, and it's always been in the green. It hasn't changed. So it could be Restream. You could have like about 40,000 young boys at about 15 years old playing Fortnite, all trying to do Call of Duty at the same time. It could be all of our wives or on Netflix. There might be, or watching The Voice or something. I don't know. We do our best here to provide you this show and this experience. It's It's a learning experience for us. There's is still like some amazing things going on the show. This show is only going to get way better. Each week it's just getting better and better and better. And the things that are coming up, we just can't announce them yet. So so glad to have everybody on. I'll let you do the final word. Tell them what we're going to talk about next week.
Next week we're going to talk about photography and lighting, and video, basically. We get asked the question a lot, how do you take pictures of your tank? So we're going to reach out. We're going to find a few people that we know who are experts at this, see if we can't we're going to try to see if we can get some valuable insight, but we're going to talk about stuff like that.
Yeah, I think I'm going to pretty much do the topic next week. It's my forte. You know,
absolutely.
got a ton of stuff here. So I'll give you guys some tips and tricks and pointers. It's all about lighting and it's all about shutter speed. I'll give you a preview on that. So next week, why don't you give us a goodbye and I'll run our closing credits.
So just wanted to tell everybody, thank you again, as always. Thank you for your support. Thank you for helping us achieve the 1,500 members. You know, thank you for being a member, and just thank you. I appreciate all of you guys. As Dave said, this chat can continue offline. You guys got any questions? You know, I got an open door policy. I'll help as much as I possibly can. I'll be going to South Carolina again on Thursday. If anybody along the way needs anything, reach out to me, and if I can meet up with you guys. Have a great day. Appreciate it all. Thank you.
And if you're a Clubhouse member, we are going to put the 2 winners in the Clubhouse tonight. It's going to happen tonight. So as soon as this ends, I'm going to randomly pick those 2 winners and post it into the chat. Thanks, everybody, for being here. We'll see you next Tuesday on Fish Talk Live. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Dave.
Of course. I don't know. It's got to be a full moon, huh, Ron? I have no idea why it's causing me so much issues.
It was the whole episode.
This one's lagged. Sing a song real quick, Ron. Sing him a goodbye song. I can't find the video either. I got so much crap in here. Oh well. So we'll just go ahead and Facebook Live closer. That should work now. There we go. Take care, everybody. Bye bye.
Hey everyone, I just wanted to say I am proud of the time I spent in the United States Navy. This is a great country, made great by the men and women who serve and have served in the United States Armed Forces. From the sacrifices of our fathers and grandparents to those of you who are currently serving on active duty, it is my honor and pleasure to offer a special discount to our veterans. If you are active military or a veteran, please let me know so I can do my part and honor you for your service. You know, I love this country, and it's made great because of the men and women who have served in the armed forces. If you are a veteran and a business owner, check out veteranownedbusiness.com.